So now that we've seen how to use OAuth on Twitter, we're going to try to generalize our knowledge a little bit, and we're going to do something on Tumblr. So I'm at tumblr.com/OAuth/apps. Tumblr has its own API, and you can create an app. It looks actually a lot like the Twitter process. I'm going to step you through the whole thing. So I have an app here already. You might not have one yet, and so I'm going to show you how to register a new application and get all of the keys and everything you need. So let's click Register Application. And then we just want to fill out this form. So I'm going to make this Perl test app. For the website, I'm just going to put the class website. And we'll call this INFM 743 test. I'll put the class website back in the default URL. And then everything else I can leave as the default. So you can read this a little more slowly on your own. I have a link for you in the description of the video, so you don't have to scroll through all of it with me on the screen. But once you filled that out, click Register. And now we can see we have our Perl test app. Let's look at what we have here. So if we click on that, we basically get back to where we filled out all this information, but now we have a consumer key. Again, mine is blanked out. And there's a secret, and if you click Show, the secret appears. So that gives us the consumer key and the consumer secret, but we still need the other key and secret, the application key and secret. To get that, it's a little bit tricky. We're going to go back to the list of our applications and click Explore API here next to our app. When we click that, Tumblr is going to ask us to authorize. This is the point in the OAuth process where the user, you, is telling Tumblr that it can give a token to the app that allows it to use your data. So this is the kind of second part of that process. If we say allow, now we get this screen coming up, and I'm going to make that a little bigger, where we have the consumer key, the consumer secret, the token, and the token secret. And there's a bunch of languages that show us. Perl isn't one of these, but this gives us all the information that we need. So we have all of our keys and secrets available here. Those are what we're going to use in the Perl code that we're going to write in a second. So I'm going to flip Windows here over to CPAN, and you can see what I have here is a Perl module, www://Tumblr. So this is a Perl module that allows us to interact with Tumblr. It looks like all of the CPAN modules that you're probably used to. And if we come down to the synopsis, you can see we have something that looks a lot like what happened when we did this in Perl, that we are creating a new object, we pass it the keys and the secrets, and then it allows us to actually see some information. So we're going to actually just copy and paste this code and use this as a starting place. Okay, so we're over here. We're going to start user bin Perl like normal, and then I'm just going to paste in that code, and we'll save that. Okay, so now we're going to replace all of these with the actual secrets and keys. But again, just like before, you could keep these variable names here and put the variables up higher in the code with the actual values. I'm going to leave these as X's, again, just not to reveal my own data. But basically, that's it. Once we've done that, we now have our object T that has access to all of the different data that's available through the Tumblr Perl module. So here we're getting blog data from this Tumblr blog, and then we're printing that out. Remember that this is using the dumper module, so we'd have to add that at the top along with use this module. Okay, I'm going to change this to Tumblr, which is just a Tumblr blog that I looked up before class, just so we know that there's something there. So now we have Data Dumper and Tumblr. Both of these Perl modules, these libraries are being used. We have our information here to actually do the OAuth. And again, you need to replace these X's with your actual keys and secrets that you just got at Tumblr. This line is going to get the data. So using that object that we created here, it's going to get the data for this particular blog and store that information in blog. And then we're going to use dumper to print out the result. That's going to be in JSON, just so you're prepared for what we're going to see. And now we're going to go run that code. Okay, so I'm here at the command line. I'm going to run this tumblr.pl. And now you can see we get this whole kind of thing printing out. Of course, it's JSON, so it looks a little bit like a mess. But if we look, we can see here's the description, and it tells us the person who has this Tumblr blog. We can see the likes, their username, all the data about the blog printed out here. So much like we were able to do with Twitter, where we could get information about a user or post, here we're doing the same thing on Tumblr and getting data about this blog. And the important thing here is that we're able to use this existing library that has a really simple interface for us to do OAuth to give us the authorization to use the API that way.